Big up, big up, big up. Welcome to Liverpool 12 Man Show. Shout out to Edward, shout out to Lee, shout out to M Tarmizi in the house. Everyone, big up, big up. M Tarmizi, definitely leave give you a shout on Twitter. But if you can leave a comment after this so I can make you a mod, that way you can put in your Substack because M Tarmizi does some great articles that should be definitely ascertained by our audience so that we can all learn and continue to grow as football fans. Shout out to High Lord, big up to you too, big up, big up. So, people, yeah, that R10 Netflix is gonna be dope. It's definitely gonna be dope. I'm looking forward to that. But people, we are here and gathered because of a certain victory that we just had, and it is one that I think is important to talk about because, look, let's be honest, a lot of stuff went down today. We nearly got what we probably would have wanted to see, which was a Villa draw, but they ended up pulling out the win. We didn't get exactly what we wanted to yesterday, but it's okay with Manchester United eking out a 1-0 win over Chelsea at the Bridge. But all the same, we keep pace, with the top five. So we are definitely getting closer to being in a place where we can finally understand that we're not going to have to worry about, I guess, whether we're going to have Champions League football or not. So it is one where, hey, I know some of us are happy, some of us are still a little salty, I would say, but all the same, it is what it is. Um, Shout out to Hyler, like I said, Lee and Parmisi and Edward. How are you guys feeling about this? Welcome everyone joining us. By the way, I see everyone starting to slowly filter in. But how is everyone feeling about this game? Is it something that you guys are happy about, or is in the sense of like, are you happy about not necessarily, are we all happy about the win? Let's not get it twisted, but I mean happy in the sense of, are you happy about our performance? Are you happy about our play? Are you happy about the way our boys showed up and fought to the very end? It's a big question of like, sometimes of just understanding that, hey, we didn't have possibly our best out there in the sense of our best effort, but then again, it matters only about the final score, which is what it comes down to. Edward says he's happy with the win, but not the performance. Hyler says actually today might be the day. This might be the day this season where pretty anything can happen going forward. The only thing we know for certain are the two teams on top. Yes, that's true. Two teams on top of the table just got done finishing up a very, very heated matchup, and one that saw our I guess you could call it our rivals. I mean, Manchester City are a rival in a sense of that they've become more of such since we've fought tooth and nail to try to you know get over and get the title, but it is what it is. Trudon says Cherky is everything he wants Verts to be. That goal was class. I get what you're saying. Cherky definitely has a little bit of a. You know what's funny about it? It's like Cherky definitely has class, and no, I would say class. He is certainly very talented. I'll go as far as to say that, but I will say that Cherky definitely brings a little bit of that I want to say call it savoir faire, like as in that kind of like he has a little bit in him that he's got that Bernardo Silva in him. I'd say that. I'm not going to pause because I don't care about saying it that way, but yes, he's definitely he's got that little bit of that jerk quality. I guess it's very fitting that he plays for Manchester Cheaters. Because that's exactly a lot of the sentiment of those players on that team. You gotta respect Holland in the sense of the way that he is a beast on the pitch, but he is certainly sometimes you just want to knock that smug little grin off his face Oh my goodness, so annoying. But kudos to them. They got the win. They got the big win against Arsenal today. A lot of Arsenal fans are going to, I'm sure, go into it. Maybe it's a little bit cool because, like, now at least with the way this game has gone down, being this City Arsenal matchup, that maybe, just maybe, some of these Arsenal fans will be humbled enough to shut the. All right, I won't go that far. But anyway, it's always better to have like a win under our belts and then also seeing teams that you can't stand lose today. So that is what it is. Um, let's see. Verts was poor today. I agree with that completely, Edward. Verts was frustrating today, immensely frustrating today. Um, uh, well, I'm not going to say that statement, high lord, but I, Um, Kanate did get hit in the head today and was a little bit sluggish a little bit at times at certain points of the match, but it's still all the same. It is what it is. Is what it is. Let me see if let me see one little thing here as well. Let me, let me just give me one quick second here because I had this ready, but um. do have some graphics ready. I want to make sure these graphics are ready for you because a lot to talk about, to be honest with you. Very much so. A lot to talk about. A lot of different things that we can get into discussing from the very gate, I would say. So I'll just get right into it as well with you in case it froze up a little bit. So lucky. We should have won. We should have. Well. First off, you guys spell one. End of story. You know what's funny about it is like Mikey. I love it. I love it. Um, Everton supporters are welcome to be involved in the conversation, but I would go as far as to say this: should have and actually did are two different things. And trust, this season has had a lot of should haves for this Liverpool team, and what actually happened being the opposite. So when it comes down to it, Everton, should they have won? I wouldn't go that far as to say they should have won. And why I would say they shouldn't have won is because A, it was the fact that we scored first. I'll admit, if that goal that you scored initially had stuck, we're talking about a different story. Possibly the momentum, the amount of noise and momentum changing atmosphere in that stadium when you guys scored that goal, that offsides goal, was immense. It was definitely immense. It definitely was disappointing and frustrating to see because it was a well taken goal, but it was an offsides goal. And it wasn't like it was like, oh, he was marginally offsides or anything like that. He was a half body length offsides. So there's no disputing the fact that he was offsides. Um, we then had an absolutely beautiful play and developed by a takeaway, by mistake by Everton and Cody Gakpo, who absolutely should have been given a lot more props by some of my fellow content creators. Still stuck on this agenda-driven BS that I see is very prevalent amongst these content creators lately. But let's be honest. I don't think you could have seen a more prettier of a pass by Cody Gakpo to our Egyptian king Mohamed Salah, who took it on stride, who put a beautiful shot into the left hand side of the goal, and we're up 1-0. Now, Beto's goal, I'm going to be honest with you, that is an absolute mistake by Konate. Konate, I don't know what he was thinking. Poorly done, poorly performed defense against his player. Allows for the cross to get in. Robbo, look, I'm not expecting Robbo to be able to fend off Beto. Beto's stronger, bigger, stronger, the whole likes. He ends up putting in a absolutely really, really well-timed goal past Marmardashvili, and it's 1-1. But I want to say, and I don't know if hopefully Quasi Bold, he does always watch our show just as much as I watch his show. We watch it, he's one of my G's. I hope Quasi Bold on his platform will give a shout out, a proper shout out to my captain. To actually, I just see now JK is joining us as well. To JK's captain. To all us as Reds, our captain puts in a captain's goal today. I would love to hear a little bit of what is up. Take out JK. How are you doing today?
I'm happy, bro, today. It's been a good day of football. That's what winning feels like, Had to win today. Had to win. No matter what anyone else did in that, we had to win. So I don't think we were great, but all in all, we got the winner in the first derby in their stadium, and that's what I wanted, And then City beat Arsenal, so fair play, man.
Yeah.
It would have been alright if Sunderland got a result there. It would have been nice.
It would have been. I was really. I mean, Sunderland was down early in that game. They tied it up, and then they went down again in that game. Then they tied it up again. I was just like, come on, let's just, Sunderland, let's get this result. And they ended up bottling it, obviously, a little bit at the end, or dropping the bag, I guess you could say, in the end. Let me see this. What's our Everton guest saying? To be honest, the ref gave you every decision possible. Books Pickford, but doesn't book Van Dijk for the challenge on Idrissa Gueye or Ghana Gueye. He booked Pickford simply because Pickford's got to know his place and role. He can't come at the referee like the way he did. He's hot-headed. Your goalkeeper is a hothead. If anything, he's not a hothead. He's a POS, but I mean, that's a whole different story. But he is a hothead, and that's why he got it. He didn't get it because of a challenge. He got it because he wanted to charge out of the goal, and try to give the referee a piece of his mind. A, Pickford is not the captain of your team, so therefore he shouldn't be yelling and screaming at the referee. And B, even if he was the captain of your team, he shouldn't be yelling or screaming at the referee the way that Pickford went about it. And he got properly addressed and shown a yellow card. Simple as. Has nothing to do with the referee was sided one way or another. That was just the way it is. Come on, you sound very, very salty and bitter. Trust me, this is coming from Liverpool fans and Liverpool fan myself. That sometimes I get distressed and angry over the way the refereeing can go this way and that way, but the referee
was. He was going to be more lenient to them, of course, because they're at home and stuff. But all in all,
exactly.
he didn't really have a major part to play in the game. And
not at all.
What Dara said. The booking on Pickford had zero impact on the game.
Exactly. So I mean, what are we even talking about, really, realistically? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And also, hi to Helio, Dara, Lee Wizkid, Edward in the chat. I hope you guys are happy. We got a win and draw about. After how many games was that, man? That run went on too long.
It went on too long, and it felt like, not only did it feel like forever, but it definitely went on to a point where it was strenuous. It was tough, the matches were very, very difficult watches as well. It'd be one thing if we're playing good football and we're just just not getting it over the line. That'd be one thing. But I mean, the football wasn't even good. That's a
Yeah.
whole different conversation.
Bro, we had
Um,
like 3 games, 8-0 on aggregate. The City get FA Cup and the 2 PSG games. That's 8-0 we lost. So today, I see a lot of fight today in Salah and in Jones. I think them two, like, I seen Jones getting mad at Isaac. Um, just like the sort of scouts display you want to see in a derby from a Liverpool player. And I think today, Jones, fair play to him, he played well. Yeah, some minor little, not good passes and stuff like that. But all in all, yeah, it was a better display by us. And we've got Palace
absolutely.
next. So it's like the gaps in the games now are big now. We've got weeks, we'll have a week to prepare. So anyone who's sort of got little niggles or whatever can sort of get back. So we can have a sort of good enough sort of squad to pick from on Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. And on top of that night, well, the big question is now, considering that Ali is out, are we
Mm-hmm.
going to even have Mohamed Dashvili?
I don't know. Lee,
Um,
Lee better get his gloves ready.
Lee better. Lee better.
Yeah, Lee better get his gloves
Lee
ready. I don't know with the Mohamed Ashvili one. For me, I think Mohamed Ashvili started off the game really well, made 2 great saves, and
better.
he should have done better on their goal. Come on, he shouldn't have really let that in, and that was disappointing. And then he got injured on top. So, but fair play, that lad came on. All seen his name, never seen the guy, and today we've seen him, and he did what he had to do, innit? He didn't let no goals in, so fair play.
Yeah, no, I'll also will give Marmadashvili credit in the sense of he did make a couple of good stops. To be honest with you, he
He
did make
did. He
good
did.
saves. Um,
And he looked confident. As it was different today from him when he started the game. He
mhm.
was shouting. He was like, and that's what goalkeepers need. They need that connection with the game, vocal, whatever it is. And he was doing that today, so that was cool.
There's something that's a good little stat for Salah. Salah scored in his last 3 starts. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's in that on the undercover as well. I had a feeling Salah would score today, and that's why I was a bit pissed. He didn't actually start the PSG game. Um, because I want to say he was on form, but he was scoring
Mhm.
him like Gapco another assist for Salah. That's good to see. I think Gapco. Let's give Gapco a little bit of a mention. I reckon he played all right as well. I think him and Salah have had enough
I'm glad to
bullshit
hear you
thrown at
say
him.
that. I'm glad to hear you
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm glad to hear
Because
you
like
say
for
that
me, he's
because
a Liverpool player, bro.
he
At the end of the
is. He
day,
is.
I don't
He
like
is.
when our players disrespect our players. Gapco, his wish is that he's banging in 30 goals for fucking Liverpool. He
Yeah.
don't want to be playing these games where he ain't scored for months. Like,
Right.
which player wants that? So I don't understand the mindset behind getting on players' backs because at the end of the day, they know if their game ain't going great. They know themselves. We don't need to bloody tell them.
Yeah.
So it was good to see Salah and Gakpo in the last few games seem to be getting back to a little bit of form compared to before.
I thought that exactly what Dara was saying. I think that because for instance, I saw on Coppish they gave a ratings. They gave their ratings out, and they gave Cody a above average. It's I think they gave him like a 5 or 6. I think they gave because that's how their ratings go. That's above average is a 6, and then they gave all these different players really high grades in the game, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, if it wasn't for Cody getting that turnover, and if it wasn't for an absolute, I think that pass was phenomenal. The weight of that pass to go through and hit Mohamed Salah on stride was a fantastic, fantastic pass. Um, he was trying to go byline. He was trying to go. He was trying to get his shot in. A couple was just unlucky. A couple of shots that were off target. But realistically, seeing Cody play today, was good, and I mean he didn't even get to play a full 90. Got taken off. I think right before the 90th minute, got taken off. But it's just weird. Like it's just one of those things where it's like I think sometimes people's agendas get so struck into itself that
Yeah.
you don't get a very sensible
Judgment on a player.
judgment on a player,
Mhm.
even when you can say that a player's been playing bad. I haven't shied away from saying that Cody's been playing poor in the sense of his what I believe is Cody's level of play. Like as in we've seen Cody play really good football, and we all know what level he's played. But if you listen to a lot of these commentators or content creators, you would think that Cody's just stealing checks. You would think that he was like this, like a Make a Wish Foundation, and he got the benefit of like getting the play for Liverpool or something, and isn't a formidable player. The guy's going through a little bit of a downturn or a down spell on his game. He's played well in a couple of these recent matches, and like even when he does play well, you still have people coming out just to try to get in their shots at the guy, and that is where I draw. Like, I agree with what you're saying. There's points and parts where you can have like an opinion on a player, but I mean like if a player shows up, give him credit. How difficult is that? Especially when it's your own player. He's a Liverpool player, and I still see people taking shots at this guy, and I'm just like, I'm like, dag, like you wonder why people want to maybe move on from a team or move on from an environment. If that's the community environment that you keep, whereas in nothing's ever good enough, and not only is nothing ever good enough, when you do show up and perform, I'm still going to slight you. Why would you ever want to be a part of that? That's not the Liverpool that I want to be a part of.
But
So that's why I'm doing my best to have people like JK on the channel and the likes. Go ahead.
that's why, like today, even with Van Dijk's interview after the game, he said something to go along with that. The thankfulness has been missing for, say, guys like Salah, for example. Spot on, bro. These guys read social media. They could be on the train or in the cafe at the training ground on their phone, looking at Twitter, typing their name. Oh, look, this guy's calling me this. This guy's calling me this. This guy's calling me this, and they can get fucking down, bro. And a lot of fans don't realize football players have social media and they can check whatever's being written about them.
No, I agree.
For me, when it comes to players like Salah and Van Dijk, bro, what they have done for me and us as a football club, you can't even say to them, "Oh, you know what, you're not playing great." You just you ain't got the, I wouldn't say the proudness to do it, but you know what I mean. Just that respect thing there, like when a guy puts a shift in, like the way Salah has for us, and you've got the right to say to him, "Oh, you're not playing great." He fucking knows. We don't need to. The guy's been he's in our top 11 best players of all time. This guy, Salah and Van Dijk. And people have been getting on their backs. Not great. And if they didn't win no Premier Leagues with us or Champions Leagues, yeah, fair enough. You can say what you want, you know what I mean? But respect, you got to keep respecting the game. And the people like me, you, Nalante, Lee, we're fans who believe in that. I'm not here to do agendas against my football team players. Like, fuck that. Who's got time for that? No.
Yeah, definitely
Hi,
so.
Chief.
I mean, like it does get down to it. It does get down to it. Where
Ain't nobody got time for that.
so there it gets down to. That's how it gets down to. Jeez, man. Big up Oliver, by the way. Big up Oliver James in the house. Big up. Good to see you. Good to see Lone Sheep as well. Red Armchair supporter. I did say hello to Dara, but I'll say hello again. And I believe that's all that's chimed in since that. But
No, go on, Red Armchair. I hope you're cool, bro. Good to see you, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. It is a weird one. It is a weird one. I guess I guess let's break down I guess the game properly again because look, we didn't cruise through this game. There were segments that we had control, segments that we didn't have control of this game. We had to definitely earn these 3 points. Everton started off strong. The goal that got rolled out was a really like that was a momentum changer. It could have been a momentum changer actually. Fortunately, he was offsides. Again, Cody Gakpo assist to Salah, which was a fantastic goal. Salah being absolutely Johnny on point for us today with that goal because that was a well taken strike. Um, Elite mentality. Got to give props out to our Egyptian king for that because that got us going. That was a proper deflator of the amount of adrenaline that was pumping through the veins of all those Evertonians today because they were
Yeah, they were on
hyped.
it. Mm-hmm.
They were hyped today.
They were
Um,
thinking, look, what a time to play these guys. They keep losing, and we're going to beat them first derby in their new stadium, and that's what it was all about for me. We need to
yeah,
win that first derby in their new stadium, and
yeah.
we did it. And that mental thing, you ain't gonna get more of a game that's like in your face because them fans, they were anything. If one of their players fell over, they were whistling and whatever, and it was proper hyper. And I was
Yeah.
thinking, look, we've done it on a number of occasions this season where we've had games like this where we're up against it, but we've been solid and got through it and got the win and stuff like that. And then
Mhm.
in some games, like the PSG games, both of them, really poor, really weak in that. And that's consistency. And that's what this team lacks. Some games, like this game today, they know it's a derby. Curtis was
Mhm.
playing, and I was really happy to see Curtis starting. I know Dara's not going to be happy about that one. But
Right.
I just wanted the scouts on the pitch to show a bit of enthusiasm, show people
We said that.
what
We
this
were
game
saying
is.
that. Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, we were saying that before like we were saying how we really want to see fight. We want to see like as in
Yeah.
I was mentioning about how the one of the because I got asked this question a couple of times on either panels or even chats, and like my response has always been, I want to see not only I want to see the same fervor, the same like almost like disgust, you know, um, in our players and for this tie. Like as and I would like to see them look at this game as like, oh, what do you like about this? What is there to like about it? Oh, there's nothing to like about this game because we hate Everton or we hate this. We hate we want to get this is there's nothing worse than losing to this team and we know it. And that kind of fight and fervor to say there's like as in we're going to leave blood, sweat, and tears on the pitch. That kind of like fight that you want to see and associate with your not only with your team but with the levity of this game, like as in the amount of Everton fans that were out before this game spouting off with chest about how this is their chance. This is so historic. It's the first game in the new house, and and how this is going to be you know an opportunity to humble Liverpool and da 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 da. Not today, as Alexander said. Not today. Big up, Jean Grey, one of our Reds Queens in the house. Big up,
Oh,
as
bless up, Gene.
always. Bless
And
up, bless up.
Alexander. Great to see you.
Oh man, but
Yeah,
yeah,
everyone's
that's
surprised we
what.
won, man.
What's that?
I just got the feeling of winning, It's like, that's how bad it's been recently.
Yeah,
That a win, like, come on, man, what is that? And then we got one today. Good to see Isaac. More minutes for him. I know it's a bit sooner than expected and whatnot, but just to have him out there running around, and it's good to see as well. So fair play.
it's good to see. It's good to see him running out there. Now, I don't know. I am going to be honest with you. I was I said it in the chat. Un I was confused why we had to start him today. I'm not saying I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm supportive of Isak. I want to see him obviously score, and I want to see him get involved in getting back to the levels and being back to the Isak that we paid hundreds of millions of dollars for. But I need to see. I was like I was so confused as to why we had to start him today. I understood why you had to start him against PSG. I
Uh-huh.
understood the fact that you know we can only get 45 minutes out of the player. If we start him or if we play him in the second half, then we take the risk of it going to extra time, and then all of a sudden having to make another substitution for him. You know, because he might not be able to go. That it might obviously extend past 45 minutes of him playing. So I understood that. But in this game, we're not playing for extra time. In this game, we're not playing for to get goals back in the sense of like because we're down 2-0 in aggregate. In this game, we're looking at it as we know we're not going to get measured minutes out of them. So then utilize him as a player off the bench. Utilize him as a player that can maybe run at a tired defense. You know, um, I would have certainly. I didn't agree with the lineup. We'll get into ratings for the players and our coach, but I didn't agree with the starting lineup today. I didn't agree with it at all.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Um, the Beto goal again, like you spoke on, that's when the game became really chaotic for us. I think at that moment, neither side really looked like they had an answer as to how to put this game to rest. You know, um, it is an opportunity for big players to separate themselves. I was hoping we could get that kind of response from Florian Wirtz, but let's be honest with you, Florian definitely did not look comfortable in this game. And this is again a game where you need to know what a derby brings. It's going to be tough. It's going to be physical, and you're not going to have much time on the ball. I think today he just thought he was going to have too much time to kind of like be able to turn and run with the ball and do things. It seemed like he just did not know what to do with it on those levels. Maybe you looked at it differently, JK. But
Just repeat that in part, bro.
I was just saying, I think today Flo. I think we've seen Flo get slowly but surely adjusted to Premier League football.
Uh-huh.
But now, for maybe for a true measure in time, he's been truly introduced to what a derby means, and it's a
Yeah.
difference. It's the reason why in games you can't like as in some games you're going to have plenty of time to in some games you're going to have time to to be able to turn and look at the pitch and analyze the field and blah blah blah, but you're not going to have the time because it's
Uh-huh.
so physical, it's so quick, and with those things all connected, it's very difficult for you to be in Trudon's words, maybe just a little bit too passive today. You got to be assertive, you got to be aggressive, and you've got to make quick decisions. You can't really labor on the ball and think that you're going to have all day to kind of like, just dribble and not be challenged by Everton today. And it seems like as soon as he touched the ball, there was a man ready to challenge him, and he's got to recognize that's a derby. That's my point.
Yeah, I think like with Wirtz, I'm a big fan, and I think it took him time to adjust to the physicality of this Premier League. You've seen it, like even in today's game, he was getting knocked off the ball and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've got no worries about him in that way of like skill wise, what a player he is and stuff like that. I know he's got it in his bag. But I think
Yeah.
this summer he's gonna be at the World Cup. He needs to put a bit of weight on, maybe toughen himself up a
Maybe.
bit. Hit the
Maybe.
bench with the weights and stuff, and eat some food that's gonna put a bit of mass on you. But
Listen,
look,
you
at the end of the day,
yams or
him and
something.
Isaac, for example, today they tried to link up a little bit, but you could just tell both of them were not 100% at the races yet in their Liverpool careers. Isaac never really touched the ball at all, bar them one or few touches. But for me, hey, come on, who thought he'd be even on the pitch this season? I didn't. I thought he wouldn't even get to the World Cup. So we'll have to see with them too, Isaac and Wirtz. But look, I'd rather have an Isaac and Wirtz in our squad than not. So that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Because opposition people are gonna point at fault in these two guys. Why? Because they cost so much money, so they've got excuses to have a go at them all the time. Us fans, yeah, we can sort of bite our tongue a little bit and think, you know what, it's their first season, it'll be all right, you know.
Trying to send. I'm gonna send Quasi an invite as well. Let's see. I don't know if he it is Sunday, so he might be free. I'll see if he is. I just send him a little invite to have a conversation. There's some chats, and I'm sure you're keeping abreast of what the chat is saying too. Hyler saying, if I was Chiesa, I would jump on any offer there is, even if an offer came from Eskimo team in Greenland. He must hurt a lot rotting away on the bench, unable to get any minutes. I don't think that Chiesa will be a Liverpool Red if Arne Slot is a coach, this summer. If Arne Slot's still our coach after the end of the season, I would, if I was Chiesa's agent, I would tell him this isn't it. This isn't it under this coach. At least this coach is. I agree with you on that. Hi, Laura. Some of the absolute disrespect and I think unfair treatment that Chiesa has gotten from this manager is kind of poor to see. Let's see what else.
Yeah, definitely. When you see how Jurgen used to handle people like Shaqiri and Milner, all like Origi, he gave them their fucking due. He gave them the opportunities. He gave them game time. Kept them happy. Kept them sweet. This guy don't know how to keep the squad sweet.
They performed. They performed for
stepped up for him. Yeah.
Let's see what else. Any other comments in the chat? I think it was the Trudon disagrees with us on he thinks that Wirtz is a La Liga player, not a Prem player. I'm gonna recognize the fact of there has to be more. I think for the conversation to be a fair conversation, I think there has to be a conversation about the fact that yes, there are things about Florian Wirtz that we want to see improved, like as his physicality and his toughness, absolutely. But at the very same time, you don't get to a place where you're one that I think he's only second to Bruno for chance creations or something like that, I think, in the Premier League or something on those lines. You don't get to that level if you're not actually balling out in one way or another. I'm going to be 100 with it, and it's the fact that we have to have better our players be better at, eating their dinner, basically. Like, it's one thing to serve up a hot meal, but it's another thing for the players to, put the ball into the back of the net. And we have struggled at doing that. And on top of that, I will go as far as to say we've not only struggled at doing that, but also struggled to really feed our strikers. The absolute, like, famine zone, basically. It's like a hot desert when it comes to, uh, really trying to get our strikers involved. We had in a game where you're going to start not only two strikers, but all the same, we had one striker at one point when Ekatike got hurt in that PSG game. Isak had 5 touches, 1 touch inside the box. That's unexcusable. There were times, I don't know about you, JK, but there were times, and the commentator made a comment about this too, but there were times when you would have, if you didn't know Isak started, you would have forgotten that he was on the pitch.
Yeah, but bro, I'm not expecting him to come on the pitch and bang in 2 goals every game and stuff like that. I'm on that level with him where what he offers, I'll take. In that circumstance, because of who he is, how much he cost, and his time he's been with us and stuff, he scored a goal, got injured, and he's come back earlier than everyone thought. So I'm letting him be, bro. At the end of the day, he's probably got his eyes on the World Cup, probably trying to get some fitness, and he'll try to bang a few goals in for us while he's at it, So, look, bro, we've got a week's rest now until the Palace game, so that's enough time for him to recuperate.
I think maybe I won't say misconception, or maybe like a misunderstanding by what I'm trying to emphasize. I'm not talking about Isak's game. I'm not saying, like, I'm trying to make some deep analyzation on Isak needs to be better, or Isak needs to be this, or Isak needs to be that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying Isak needs to be fed. That's the whole point of what I'm trying to get at. And like, as in, our strikers are really, we come from, and this is why, like, these conversations are so difficult, not between you and I, but I'm saying it's so difficult to have honest conversations sometimes on these other platforms, because you'll go into the chat, or if you get the pleasure of being on the panel, you get into these conversations, and we're talking about, for instance, Isak. And what someone will bring up is Isak needs to be better at this, and he's better at that, and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, Isak had what? How many touches did Isak have? How many times did we try to get him involved? I watched a game today in the City game where Haaland is the main focal point. He is the main focal point. Other players can score. Don't get it twisted. But their main focus is to try to get Haaland an opportunity to get the ball so he can put the ball in the back of the net. We do the same. We have Mohamed Salah is more of an inside forward than a winger, so therefore he's not looking to get involved that way. And we have Cody Gakpo, again, who is technically a winger, but he's a winger that likes to cut in and take his shots. He's not much of trying to beat men for pace and get passes into his striker. Yeah. We don't do that. Okay.
We don't do that.
So when we have these conversations, that context is important to be a part of the conversation. And that's the reason why you don't see Ekatike with tons of goals and Isak with tons of goals.
Isaac received nothing, like a cross, get your head on that,
Not even.
or nothing. And I'm thinking, okay, we won the game, fair play, we won the game, but at the end of the day, I want to see a bit of industrialization of our team, that we're actually trying to feed our number 9. So that's like, we've got 5 games left of the league. We better start getting crosses in the box or something, because Isaac's going to be our striker next season. So let's get into it now.
He is. As I said, very good point by Edward. Shout out to Edward. Oliver saying it was shocking to see not one ball go to Isak directly until late on the second half. Yeah, you're right about that. That's what's really struggles, is that it's a struggle to watch, because you question what is the game plan. If If I'm the coach, I'm saying let's figure out ways to get the ball to Isak. And the commentator made a comment about it, or at least on our side of the pond, made a comment, and it's something I picked up too, as well as and why I'm repeating it, is because one, you don't want to have your striker have to, especially if he's a poacher or the kind of goal getter that Isak is, which is trying to attack that back line. You don't want him having to track back and go and get deep into the pitch to try to receive the ball. He's not that kind of he's not he's not R9 or something like that. He's not something to do like that. But if you're not going to, you're going to have. That's when strikers get frustrated. And that's why they do tend to, say, let me get the ball. The only way I'm going to get the ball is if I abandon my holding this back line and go back into the midfield practically to get the ball. That's not good. That's not good. Mark Simon says, masterclass. Okay. All right. We can talk about that in a bit. Greetings to Spirit of LFC fans. Shout out to you. How are you all doing today? LFC 12 man's ball knowledge is world. Oh, shout out to you. Big up. That's a very, very kind thought. Isak had 9 touches in 72 minutes with one weak shot on goal, 3 completed passes, and only 1 of his 7 duels won. What is that? Okay, no, I'm not gonna go back. Not gonna go there with your departed grandmother. I'm sorry about that. But I am going to say that Isak is not your Bobby Firmino when it comes to pressing and being defensive and holding players accountable to duels and the likes. He's not going to bring you that aspect. And it's why, if anything, I'm saying to myself, and Eke is not either, by the way. Let's not like mince words with that. However, those two players can be absolute. If you can get them through balls, if you can get them crosses to get under and the likes, they can make an absolute difference. And Rush is on the far side, says, get in. I have said all season long, Virgil has been our best player. He is the best center half I've ever seen. To all those who wrote him off, go to Specsavers. Okay. Shout out to you.
Opticians.
I like that. What is it?
The opticians, Specsavers in England.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The fair play.
Isn't that like it's like a eyeglass place or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
I agree with you, by the way. That's why. Hey, I threw an invite out to Quasi. Ensman's, I guess, too big for our channel, so I don't think he'll come. He'll. I don't even know if he watches, much less would he even get on our channel. But I mean, I'm trying to think who else has been very harsh and critical of the Coppish Boys. They have their own thing, and obviously the self-proclaimed Don is not going to probably give him credit either. So I agree with you. Shout out to our captain. Well, a captain's goal. An absolute captain's goal. If they won't follow, then if they don't follow your lead, then you'll just have to lead on your own. And that's what Virgil did today. He said, we are not losing this match. Lee says, how much of Isak's lack of involvement is down to the actual injury, lack of fitness, and how much is down to him being ultra wary of a re-injury? Can take a while for confidence to heal too. And I agree with that. For instance, there was a ball that was given out to him where I want to say was it Pickford got to it first or something, but like as in there was a ball that was dropped in on for him to run under, and I think truthfully, I think rather than go 100% into trying to get to it, he kind of gave up for a quick second. That could be happen. That could happen. It does. I think the biggest obstacle isn't getting your knee or getting whatever part of you is something that you're trying to rehab and get stronger or get back to the health. And I always thought that it's never that. I think personally, it is mentally getting confident. Like as in, to have the confidence in you mentally is the biggest hurdle to get when you're injured. Um, I know. Like as in for myself, that's been one of the biggest hurdles is getting the one thing for the rehab guys to be like, oh yeah, you're 100%, you're 100%. Most times for injuries, people tell you that your injured limb is sometimes stronger than the limb that isn't hurt, for instance, because you've been exercising it, focusing on your attention on strengthening that one limb. Um, but yeah, it isn't easy. It isn't easy at all. Um, um, yeah, I felt a little dizzy as well. I was definitely on cloud nine seeing our guy get that goal. Um, Let me see. Glad to hear it, Norm, bro. At least talking to Norm. And would it not be better? Would it not be better at moment to get Isak last 30 minutes in a game against a tired defense than physically he has a upper hand last 30 minutes for now? I agree. I stated that earlier. I'm exactly with you on that point. By the way, great minds think alike, I guess, huh? Great pass to a linesman from Beto. Yeah, there you go. That shot that he had, oh my goodness. Yeah, that was a poor, poor shot that he had out there. Marmardash really had some pretty awesome saves today, says Hyler, especially that first one, just a couple of minutes into this match that Beto provided. Yes, I agree. I agree with that. Definitely agree. Oops. Just let me see what you said up there. I just saw your message. My bad. I answered that question already. All right. I'll get into a segment I call Ballers and Bottlers. Okay. This is a segment that I'm starting to enjoy more in getting involved. When we win, I enjoy it more. It probably is the only time I ever bring it out is if we win. If we lose, I don't want to talk about it. But all the same, I'll bring up your comment in 1 second, Mark. For ballers. All right. Tell me who your ballers are and who your bottlers are for this game. I had two particular names in for ballers. I know that I'm going to be probably matched by some saying possibly maybe Curtis Jones, or because I've heard a lot of praise for Curtis Jones lately, for at least since this game is concluded. I'm going to go and say my baller has to be Mohamed Salah. This is his last Liverpool Everton Merseyside Derby. And it is something that I will say that Salah didn't dominate this game. I'm not going as far as to say he was balling out of control. But he did decide it early with an absolute fantastic finish. He gets his 9th Premier League goal. Actually, I have a graphic for that I want to share. This one's, I guess, courtesy of BBC Sports. Let me share the screen for you because this was a great achievement, by the way. Absolute great achievement by by our guy. He got his 9th Premier League goal versus Everton. That equals our legend, Steven Gerrard, Derby record. On his final Merseyside Derby, as I spoke on earlier, he leaves his mark. This legacy will always exist because he is fantastic. And then I also have my baller has to be Virgil van Dijk. Let's be clear. This is why he's the captain of our team. Let me repeat myself. This is why he's the captain of this team. Not for the easy moments, because nothing goes easy when you play defense, especially on this current Liverpool team. But nothing is going to come easy. But why he is the captain of our team is for moments like that where you need someone to step up. And Virgil van Dijk did just that today. I got an honorable mention, by the way. I have an honorable mention for a player I asked to start, actually. But Freddie Woodman. I'm going to give an honorable mention to Freddie Woodman. I'm giving him a baller shout because he was thrown into a derby cold. There's nothing worse than a goalkeeper to be put into a game that you're probably not expecting to be a part of. And he didn't blink. He got into this game. He played well. He is notably, let me repeat this, notably better at passing the ball. With the ball at his feet, he is much more confident and comfortable than Marmadashvili. Marmadashvili's got to do something about that. That's one of my biggest knocks against Marmadashvili. Marmadashvili is a fantastic shot stopper, but has to do more with his feet. I'm going to give bottlers to my bottlers in this game has to be Beto. I know he gets a reprieve because he scored the goal. But at the same time, he should have scored it before that. He was indecisive when it mattered for Everton, and he simply dropped the ball. I also gave a bottler to Pickford. Any opportunity I can give a bottler to that guy, I'm going to step up and do my best to make sure that he understands that I can't stand that guy. And for our team, I will admit, I'm going to give a bottler to maybe Konate today because he was solid overall. I just hate when I see him have those lapses in judgment, especially in big games. Those are the matters that matter the most. And today, he had one of those moments in the goal that he allowed for them. That's at least my bottler of the game. Let me see what you guys have as your ballers and bottlers. Hopefully, this could be like a recurring segment. Let's see. Any ballers and bottlers from you guys? Well, Bernardo Silva did not play in this game, but I can't even stand calling him a baller. He is a fantastic player, but he's a horrible person. Peter says, hey, shout out to Peter, by the way. Everton are tragic. Okay. They are a Spurs junior. How about that? Hyler says, Isak and Konate today. I lack words to describe them today. They should be rushed to the hospital after a performance like that and given a room with padded walls. Van Dijk was our best today. Salah equaled Stevens' record against Everton. Yes, he did. Mohamed Salah gets Jean Gray's shout for baller. I take it. Verts was disappointing as well. Verts could be in that bottler role. You could put him in that bottler role, maybe. Um, the rest were average today, he thinks. What was it again? I did not see him giving a sermon. I did not see him giving a sermon. I did see that Bobby's about to have an addition to his family. So I did see that. So shout out to our legend, Bobby, Bobby Digital. Um, Salah should be mentioned behind Van Dijk amongst our best. Okay. Spirit of LC fan says bottler is Verts and Isak cost us over 100 million plus. Come on, 12th man. Please speak the truth. There you go. Okay. Let's see. If I don't get the opportunity to speak it, you can speak it for me, and I'll make sure that the people hear it. How about that? Always put the truth the way you hear, the way you feel and see it. He's only got little homes. Okay. Everton versus LC was a trash game. Says Spirit of LC fans. She says she didn't watch the game, but have to ask, what do you expect when Isak came back? Do you really expect him to be the Isak of Newcastle? Really? No, I don't. I've not said that once. My extent of I wouldn't even call it criticism toward, it's not even towards him. It's more so towards the the actual game plan, I guess you could say. What is the instructions that we're giving our players, and that is, are we going to feed our strikers or are we going to let them go hungry? If I was the coach of this team, I would never let a striker go hungry on this team. I understand that we're a wing dominant team from before when we had obviously Salah and Mane, but we've spent all this money on these players, and now we have to say that is the focus of our team, being get the ball to our center forwards. All right. Let's do these player ratings while I still got someone to do them with, by the way. Oh, big up. I will check that out, Jean Grey. I will check that out. In case anybody else wants to check that out, that's what Jean was referencing with with Bobby. Let's get into these player ratings, JK, if you will, if you're available. Okay.
Before we quickly go on, I was just saying about the Isaac and Works thing. Yeah, in total, they cost over £200 million. That's a lot of fucking money. But just to have them two type of guys in our squad with a better manager, I have no problem. Them two are going to be fire next season. I just feel look at Wirtz. Yeah, even though he hasn't been great, he's created the most chances in the Champions League, and I think in the Premier League he's pretty high up there as well.
Said that, yeah.
So he's creating, but what it is, we're not finishing.
So that's exactly
and some
my
of them
point.
chances, and that's what it is. And the thing is, Isaac today, Wirtz tried to link up with him, but at the end of the day, all strikers like crosses from the right, from the left, swing them in, bang, have that, and that's what Isaac can do. So that's more to do with the training guy, on what happens on the training pitch with the manager, what the tactics are pre-game. Listen, lads, Isaac's top dog today. Let's feed him, So if that's not coming from the manager, it's not great. But for me, footballers should have a brain to work it out themselves. Think, what, Isaac's up top, I'll play it through for him, or whatever.
Yeah. You would think I would think that would be the case, but unfortunately. You're right You're right about that, Gene. And that's why JK was just commenting about Isak earlier. It's why myself, I say the same things as well. I say the things I've been critical of haven't been necessarily Isak, more so they've been critical of if you want Isak to get into being Isak, give him the kind of passes, give him the type of play that he's more associated with. You know, expecting him to go out there and be some like
Darwin
roving
Núñez.
press. Yeah, like
Yeah, bro,
All
Darwin
right.
Núñez's energy, you can't match that. Come on, give
You
me a
can't
striker.
match
He
it.
had that much energy. You can't match that energy, man.
But you
Come
can't
on.
have those conversations, bro. I mean, like, it's so tough.
That's what
It's
people
so
don't
tough.
understand. When
It's
last
so
season, me
tough
and you
that
were like, look, football's a game of energy. As soon as Darwin Núñez comes onto a football pitch, he's full throttle. Let's go forward. Let's fucking score goals, even though he
right,
can't really. But his
right.
intentions are good. And sometimes your
Yeah.
intentions are what makes the team change its vibe, you know?
You know what's too about that, real quick too, is that like often when it got to people going, oh well, he can't score, he can't score, he can't score. One, he can't score. Two, I'll admit he needed a high volume of opportunities to get a lot of the goal production that he did. Albeit, okay, fantastic, but guess what? He created a lot of that volume, and you can't knock the player for the fact that he was creating lots of chances. Now, would I like to see him have a better percentage of of finishing on those chances? Absolutely, but you can't knock a player that brings intensity, energy, chaos, brings is going to bring that kind of like heart and soul that you need on this team, physicality, the whole nine. Often it was crazy about it. I think there was a stat that showed that Darwin Núñez was one of the top, like on like corners that we had to defend against. When Darwin was on the pitch, he was actually one of the top players that helped defend corners. I think he had as many, if not, he had just about as many as Virgil van Dijk, for instance, when it comes to when he was on the pitch, comparatively speaking. That's a wild stat, I know. You probably look it up and you'll find that I'm right. But it's all good. Darwizzi is no longer Liverpool Red, at least actively, but will always be a Liverpool Red in my mind. So it's all good. Let's move on. Let's get into these ratings. Marmardashvili, let's start this off. What did you have for Marmardashvili?
I know what, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I think he kept us in the game.
Rating.
Yeah, I think today was the first time I felt confident he was in goal. Him getting injured and letting that poor goal and let me down. But hey, all in all, I'll give him an 8. I think them 2 early saves he made sort of kept us in the game and made us win.
Okay.
He had a bit of a collision, Gene, when they scored. I think it was a follow through from the other guy who scored for him. He sort of clipped Marmardashvili.
Yeah, I'm with the spirit of LC fans. I gave Marmardashvili a 6 today.
Okay.
I gave him a 6. But I mean,
I was just trying to do
8,
something
so
with the
let's
red.
average it out. We'll average it out to a 7. How about that?
Let's go there. That's cool.
Let's go with Curtis Jones.
Probably.
I thought he was good early. He inverted role, like as in I thought that was smart because let's be honest, Curtis Jones is not a right back, by the way. So if you're going to have him in there, at least like allow for him to get more infiltrated into being closer to that midfield, which is where he deserves to be. He faded in certain areas of the game that kind of disappointed me, but I still gave him an 8. I gave him an 8 today.
Yeah, probably one of the best games he's had in a while. He was shouting at Isaac. I seen that, and I was like, "Yo, good to see that. Good to see that."
That's him taking leadership. Him taking ownership and leadership into this team. Like,
that's what we want.
That's what we want. That's exactly what we want. Exactly. Yeah.
But he could be a little bit stronger. A spirit of LFC says. I think that's Abdul. He could be a little bit stronger, but his gameplay and game reading definitely improved. He ends up in slots in the pitch where he just sort of drops in and just and he does well. So all in all, I was happy with starting, and he did all right. So we'll give him an 8. Yeah,
Yeah, I gave him an 8.
I think Norman Abdul gives him a 6.
He can't tackle and is easily pushed off the ball. Spirit of LFC fan said, and Abdul gave him a. Where'd you see Abdul's ratings?
Spirit of LFC fans, isn't that Abdul?
Oh, is that Abdul? Okay,
Yeah,
I thought that
I
was
think it is.
Norm.
Let us know, Abdul.
Yeah, I thought that. Someone said that was Norm. I thought. Big up Sheba, by the way. Big up. All right. Let's move on to Konate. I thought Konate was strong today. I would have given Konate a higher rating. However, obviously, by him being in my bottlers today, he showed up on the wrong side of the ball for their goal. Then not only shows up on the wrong side, but then allows for the Everton player to get the pass off, which was, it was just a peach of a pass to go right through a box. I gave him a 7 though. I would have given him a higher rating, but I gave him a 7.
For me, that defending on their goal, I can't forgive that. I'm like, yo, bro, you want a new contract with better wages, and you're just giving me that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can go.
Yeah.
On a free. Yeah. I'm going to give him a 6, bro, because I can't forgive that defending on that goal. What was he doing?
Okay.
Terrible. Other than that, he was sound. You understand what I mean? Back to Nighty.
Mm-hmm.
He plays great, and then he does little things like that just ruin everything.
Yeah, that's why I said we can't have these like lapses from him. We just want to like from start to finish, like complete game, focused and everything else. Sometimes he has these lapses where you're just like, oh, Ibu, what are you doing? Let's give him. So I gave him a 7. You gave him a 6. Let's give him a 6.5. How about that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I think that maybe that is Abdul. I don't know. Virgil van Dijk, my captain. Yes, Virgil van Dijk. I gave Virg an 8.5. He was tested all game, but the fact that he got to write the ending to this story today made me say, get in there. Get in there. Virgil van Dijk is an 8.5 for me. What'd you give Virg?
What I said before that, when we got the corner, I was like, Virgil, if you're going to give me a goal,
give it to me now. Yeah.
Give me it today, bro. Come on. I said Virgil. I didn't say Kanate. I didn't say no one else. I said, Virgil, today's your day, bro. And I was like, he just came in, bang, goal. Oh, well, there you go. Nice.
There you go.
I'll give it.
And it wasn't an easy goal, too, by the way. He had Tarkowski hanging on him, like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're real.
All right.
So 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10? Okay. Let's can we stick with 8.5 then? Are you comfortable
Perfect.
with that?
That's sound.
Yeah. Robbo, his last Merseyside Derby. Oh man, that was tough to see, but important for him to start, by the way, in my opinion, because I thought that he didn't get to play the full 90. Kirkes got in for the final bit of it, but I thought it was I thought that this is why when I was getting pushback from the streets on Beijing Reds, and I was getting pushback from even Jamie and some of the others saying about Robbo's done, his legs are shot, he's this, he's that, he can't play any longer, blah blah blah. It's time for him to move on. Robbo can still do the work. I was hoping he was going to get a goal today too, by the way. He had an opportunity to put a ball in. was off target, unfortunately. But why I'm saying it this way about Robbo, at least is for today, at least, is that Kirkaz can be our starter, but you need a player that has some intangibles like leadership, like football IQ, like the ability to know how to utilize your smarts sometimes, even when you're being, even when there is a player that you're going up against that is more athletically inclined than yourself. And Robbo has that. And I think that that's why I've said that I would have given Robbo I would have at least offered Robbo an extension, a 1 year extension, for him to, possibly get the opportunity to go out on a better note than this Liverpool team is going to be ending the season on. But that's just my opinion. I gave Robbo a 7 today. I gave Robbo a 7. What'd you give Robbo, JK?
Yeah, sounds about right. About 7, yeah.
All right. We got Nolante joining us. Perfect timing. Because
Oh, bless up, Nolante.
shout out Nolante. Because right now he gets the opportunity. If I know he might. I'm not sure if his mic's all set up yet or not, or whatever. But he gets the opportunity to rate this guy. And some had Gravy having a fantastic game today. I don't. I would say. I think sometimes in this game, because the reason why we didn't control it the way I wanted to see us control it was because Everton bullied our midfield once again. Not once again as in they bully it all the time. I mean, like, our midfield got bullied once again by an opposing midfield. And sometimes you could see Gravy was getting frustrated by that. He wasn't able to kind of like, be able to spin and drive the ball the way I would like to see him do. He had a shot that was a poor shot, but all the same, I gave Gravy a 6.5. Nolante, or JK, go ahead, give us your rating, and then I'll let Nolante give us his.
Yeah, I'll be just brief with Grom, but I'll give him a 7, bro.
7? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
7 for Gravy. Nolante, what would you have given Gravy today?
Yeah, big up yourself, 12, JK, and everyone else in the chat.
That's it,
Same with you. I'm just coming back out. No, so now, anyway. But yeah, I agree with you. 6.5 is better, but still not the way that we know. Or better. 6.5 would be fair.
6.5. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Simple as Spirit of LC fans gave Gravy a 6. Grav was better in the second half. He was better in the second half than he was in the first. He was not very. He was giving up the ball a couple of times. Yeah, he was not on par in the first half. I'll agree with that. Sabasalai. So boss, no lie. I gave him a 7 because this was one of those games where I don't think Dom was. I'll give him a 7.5. How about that? 7.5 because he did get the assist off that corner, but until that moment, I don't think there was really much that Dom really super offered in this game. Had a couple of rash tackles. Almost got into a fight at one point as well. But I did like to see him stand up for himself in that opportunity. What did you give Dom? JK.
A game where he wasn't really needed in certain areas, but all in all, he was just had a sound game, innit? Like a 7 out of 10. 6.5, 7 out of 10.
Okay. Latte, do you want to voice what you gave Dom?
Yeah, I thought Dom was average, to be honest. I mean, yeah, got the corner, didn't do much wrongly, but
Yeah.
didn't offer anything really going forward. And it's been like that even in his possession, so just a straight six for me.
Okay. Straight six. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. 6.5 gave Spirit of Liverpool FC. Um, all right, let's move on to then. Uh, let's move on to Dominic Sabasala, or no, excuse me, Dominic Sabasala. I mean, Florian Wirtz found space, didn't punish it, looked slow at times, with being assertive. Um, I gave Flo a 6 today. Actually, I gave him a 6. I was disappointed because this was a game he could have made a lot more of a presence in it, but it was. I think it wasn't. It's not because of his talent level that I'm not questioning. It's more so he's just got to recognize that in a derby, you're not going to get loads of time. They're going to be physical. They're going to be right on top of you. Like you've got to be quick and assertive. You can't belabor on the ball. What did you rate him at?
Wirtz is probably one of my favourites. Like he's German and everything like that. But I feel the time will come like Szoboszlai where it will just click. So I've got no worries about him. Class is there, it's all there. I'll probably give him a 5 out of 10 today. I don't think he was great, bro.
Okay.
Could have been better. But all in all, he kept it flowing when he had the chance,
Okay.
A fitter Isaac with the movement, maybe we'll change out a little bit.
Okay. Nolante, Wirtz today, Flo.
Yeah, he wasn't flowing. As like JK said, he wasn't flowing in the river or on the pitch was talk. And
Yeah.
he definitely wasn't. I'm a little bit concerned with him. Look, next season will be the season where he has to deliver. He has to deliver. There's no excuses. I don't want to hear any excuses for Flo. Next season has to be his time for the money we spent and what we spend. And we need him to deliver next season, or he has to go. Or he has to. Oh, that's it. But today's game, yeah, it weren't great. Like Jake said, 5 out of 10. Quite poor, to be honest.
Okay.
But I quickly add something to that. I feel when you have the right manager,
retainer? Yeah.
When you have the right manager in charge, people like Wirtz, Frimpong, Szoboszlai even will improve. Like for me, when Alonso came in, okay, not because they've already worked together with him. Well, when they did work together, they fucking won a Bundesliga.
Right.
So I just feel Wirtz hasn't connected with this manager. The body language I'm getting from him is just like, yeah. But he knows Liverpool are a big club. He wouldn't have chosen us otherwise, you know what I mean? But all in all, we've let him down as well. We're not going to win nothing this season. And today, I was happy to see him starting the derby because it gives them a taste of what football's like in Liverpool, what it means to the people of Liverpool, So hopefully it sort of woke him up a little bit. That's all it is for me. It's just that gear change. He needs to. He's been here a season now, and all in all, I wouldn't say he's been great. I said he's been sound. I would say he's been sound, but for me, there's much more in his coffer, in his boot. So I've got no problems with Wirtz and Isaac and people like that. I'm just happy they're with us. Because when we signed them guys, we were celebrating, and we can't be already going. That's fucking bullshit, man. I don't like that with the modern day Liverpool fans. Wirtz and Isaac, they themselves will tell you they haven't been great this season, but they're fucking top quality players, and they want to win things. Support them. Don't always be like every other content creator, picking up points because they want to make football shows up. oh, let's do a show about Isaac, how crap he is. Bruv, you support Liverpool and we spent 100 odd million on him. Shut your mouth, man. Like, what's going on here? Where's this Liverpool support of players, you know? Come on. You can just tell from the energy from Van Dijk, he's been let down by the fans. Because he said in his interview at the end concerning Salah about the appreciation of it all. You know? Appreciate what, with the quality we've got there. They get paid well, we all know that. But at the end of the day, they're not here to party. They're here to win things. You know? So I just feel it's the manager. I think if we make that change in manager, you will see a vast improvement in a lot of players, in my opinion.
Yes.
Go ahead, Nate.
No, I'm saying, yeah, that's a fair point, JK. That's a fair point from JK. But again, the question is, will we get the manager to be changed? That's what we.
That's the question, bro. You know, that's worrying.
Yeah.
Realistically, he shouldn't even have been in charge for today's derby. When you really look at it on paper, you lose an 8-0 in 3 cup games, FA Cup and 2 Champions League games, 8-0. Come on. That's for me sackable offence, especially for Liverpool. So him being in manager today, he should be counting his lucky stars, you know. So I just feel this manager in some games he does it right, and then in some games he gets it really wrong, and that's the problem here. So it's a lot of questions need to be answered.
Okay, agreed. Agreed. All right. Well, then let's move on to we just did Flo. Let's move on to Salah. No, let's move on. Yeah, let's move on to Salah. I'll just do Salah. I was gonna say save the best for last, but Salah. Salah, I gave an 8 today. The goal, he faded later on in the game. He wasn't as impactful as he was in that first half, but that goal was sublime, and the pass was just equally as sublime, I think, as the goal. To be honest with you, I gave Salah an 8. What did you want to give Salah?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna give him an 8.5, bro. Back to sort of his sort of form, you know, just to see him scoring now again, 3 in a row. Yeah, man, got a smile on his face, and he loved playing for Liverpool, bro. He was hitting the badge when he scored, and when people question him, man, that's what annoys me the most as well. You got fans questioning Salah and Van Dijk because they've had poor seasons. How many? Do you know offhand there, bro? How many goals and assists Salah's got this season?
He's got 9 Premier League goals. I know that.
Okay, 9. Okay. I'm gonna give him 8.5.
Someone said one of the commentators in the game mentioned it.
Okay.
I could look it up, but
yeah. So all in all, bro, I think Salah today was like the old Salah. He was trying to get involved and he scored that goal. Fair play to him.
What was your what's your rating for him, Malante?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's an 8. An 8. I thought he's back to the mode that we kind of know. The work rate, he was involved in the game, his touches, the goal, sublime, old mode. But where's that been all season? All right, it's helped. No, I mean, it's helpful today. But yeah, so from an 8 for me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look up what I think he has. What his top players? Whoops, that's Cody actually. Salah has 7 goals.
Yeah,
7 in the Prem. I think he has 9 overall. Because I think he's got at least maybe more. Oh, he's got 3 goals in Champions League too, so he's got at least 10 goals.
Yeah, 'cause for most standards, that's like really poor, isn't it? When you consider
It
him,
is. It is.
yeah, yeah.
It's
But he's been
it's
great
poor for
recently.
Mohamed Salah, but like as in it's again, it's why it's I think that they're victims of their own success in the sense of Mohamed Salah is having an off year. I will admit that, but like comparatively speaking to other wingers in the Premier League, he's having an average,
Good. Yeah,
an average season.
yeah,
Um, but it's a
yeah.
below average season for Mohamed Salah because it's Mohamed Salah. It's the same
Mm.
thing with Virgil van Dijk. Um, Virgil van Dijk is having a below Virgil van Dijk season. However, a below average season for Virgil van Dijk standards is still a pretty exceptional or pretty decent season for most center halves in any league. It's just a matter of like because he's not, you know, uh, the perfect Virgil van Dijk that we've all become so accustomed to. It's like, oh, he's trash, he's washed, he's not this, he's not. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's
It's a
so
joke.
agenda driven. It's so agenda driven when you hear that
It's
crap.
like
Whatever.
it's just the thankfulness in the modern day human being is just diabolical, bro.
Yeah.
Forget about it. If people like Van Dijk and Salah are getting stick, what chance have we got? If
Yeah.
we turn pro, they'll be after us straight
Yeah.
away. We would have a chance, bro. So that's the way the modern day football fan is, and I'm not a big fan of it. You can say players ain't had great games or great patches of the seasons, no problem about that. But for me, Salah and Van Dijk go into our strongest ever 11 Liverpool team, so you can't say nothing more.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's true what
Um,
Lee Wiskid said about since he's probably said he's leaving, sort of weights come off his shoulders, and he's sort of scoring
I think
again.
so. I
So
agree with that. I agree
yeah,
with that.
I agree with that.
Lee Wiskett said that. I agree with that statement. Yeah. And just as Edward says, the decline. There's going to be a decline for any player. There's going to be a day when getting out of bed is going to be that much harder. That much more difficult to do, simply because Father Time is undefeated, but still the same. You know, a lot of what even a again, it's the reason why I've been saying those things about Robbo, in that he might be, yes, a player that is not Robbo isn't the Robbo of old. But then again, Robbo, even in this form and state, is still a quality player, and can show that quality if given the opportunity. If rested well, properly rotated and the likes of that, I think you can still get bits out of them, but all the same. All right, let's move on to the other winger in this game. Ended up playing center forward, for us in this game, and then was eventually subbed off. I believe. I think he was subbed off towards the end of this game. Let me double check for you. Yeah, he was subbed off in the 84th minute. Actually, I knew it was because when I saw him get subbed out, I was kind of like scratching my head, like, what are we doing? What are we about to do? Because we subbed off Cody, brought in Frimpong. We subbed off Verts, Gakpo, and Robbo for Kirkes, Frimpong, and McAllister. And I was like, what are we about to do? And I guess we are probably trying to do more of like a double 10 type situation. But all the same, I gave Cody an 8 today. It might be a little bit high. I understand that. But I think the fact that Cody had to played wing for us in the beginning portion of the game, ended up getting, I think, the assist of the game. I think his assist was the assist of the game. I get that Dom's corner was good enough for it to find its target, but I still think that Cody's assist to Mohamed Salah for that first goal was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Big up, Lady B. Big up, Lady B. She says she thinks it's social media. She says players are forensically scrutinized and nitpicked to death. She says hello to myself, JK. The
Mm-hmm.
chat, it says hello, Nalante too. He's in the corner there. Uh, to you as well, Nalante. Um, she's cooking for doing always doing
It's a
that
good deed. Yeah.
yeah, that good Samaritan, the good deed type stuff. That's Lady
You can
B.
tell she's a Liverpool fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's a
That's what
proud
we
mom.
do.
Yeah,
Bless up, Lady B. Yeah.
Yeah, bless up,
yeah.
bless
Big
up.
up, big up, lady.
To your neighbors as well. Bless up to your neighbor.
And it's true
Um,
what she was saying about social media, that the people have got so much time on their hands. They're thinking, how am I going to make a career in this football world? So what I'll do, I'll just be negative 24/7s on
mhm,
a certain player and whatever it is, and they carry on with that. For me, when you're a proper fan, you can criticize.
mhm.
Don't get me wrong, but you want to be proven wrong, and that's the beauty of football. You want to be proven wrong. If you don't want to be
Yeah.
proven wrong, you can get the hell out of here. So you're not a Liverpool fan then. If you don't want to be proven wrong, if you're criticizing a guy so much, you know.
No, it's true. It's very true. Like, um, I hope what Oliver's saying is true. I hope that Gakpo can really,
Mm-hmm.
can finish, strong for the rest of this for the end portion of the season because we're going to need him actually with the especially with Ekitike down on with the injury and the likes. But what I was going to say quickly about Cody as well is um, I get that he can be predictable. He can very well be predictable, but I also say that you can if you're predictable, stop him. Stop him. If you're
Today they didn't
predictable,
really. Mm-hmm.
exactly my point. He's
Mm-hmm.
like there is like it's a basketball reference. I know people might roll their eyes, but there used to be a player named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Way back, this in the yesteryear, okay? Part of those great Showtime Lakers teams and stuff. And he was the captain of the Lakers team. Even long before Magic Johnson got there, he was the captain, remained that captain even when Magic Johnson was there too. Um, but Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would do this move called the skyhook, and it was so predictable. Every time he got the ball, You knew what he was doing. He was going to do a sky hook. But if you have a problem with it, stop him. Because otherwise, why wouldn't you keep going to the well and going to
Okay.
your move that
Yeah.
gets you goals? So, as predictable as Cody might be, until people can figure out a way to stop him, what is the big deal about him being predictable?
But you know what though? Today was he wasn't, because like we haven't seen this Cody what we've seen today in months. I
Mhm.
mean, a good two like today's game, how he played, he was cutting in, he was shooting. He hasn't
He
done that in
was.
games,
Yeah.
bro. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, I'm so happy to see Gapco even just do that now. It's
I think
like, okay,
he's got a
yeah,
little bit of confidence back in his step because
thank God.
Cody used to be a very confident player,
Yeah, man.
and after he got injured and after he's been in
Hmm.
struggle to get to the level that he's the success and things that he's had, people being very, I mean, he's been the scapegoat of this team this
Big
season
time.
easily. He's been
Hmm.
one of the top
Hmm.
candidates for scapegoat FC. So like it gets in your head, and just like you said, they read these things, they see what people are saying on social media, they see the sentiment of what players and or not, or the fans feel about them, you know, and you know it can affect your game. You can say you want to put it past you in the likes, but it's not that easy. Sometimes you hear it. You're walking down the street, you're expecting to be shown love, and people are screaming out ridiculousness at you, you know, and it's like it's tough. It's tough. It's very tough. But I think Cody had a good game today.
Yeah, I reckon I'll give him
Um,
an 8 as well.
an eight,
Yeah.
okay.
Hmm.
Nalante, what do you want to give as a rating for him as well?
Yeah, I thought Cody was more with it today. Yeah, again, another one who's been lacking on form. The assist was cold. And yeah, he played well, man. I think he played well. I'll give him a 7.5. 7.5 on Cody.
Mm-hmm. Now it's just good to see him get the ball, trying to take man's on, trying to shoot. He should have scored. Pickford saved it.
Yeah,
He's got a venom.
yeah,
He's got a good shot on him, Gakpo. Thing is, he's got the World Cup coming up in the summer as well now, so he's got time now to get into form and think, you know what, I haven't been great for the last 6 months. I've got 5 games left now. Let me get him the goal scoring. Think he's got 2 assists in the 2 games now, Premier League or something for Salah.
Mm-hmm.
So the guys who were getting dissed all season, Gakpo and Salah, are sort of getting us points now.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And that's the thing.
embarrassing.
I'm like, hold the
Yeah.
same energy. Hold the same
Mhm.
energy you had against them when they were, you know, your quote unquote bozos or whatever you want to call them, right? Have that same energy when they show up and you know play well, or you know, you don't have to be their biggest fans in the sense of get a kit with their name on the back of it, but I mean, just give them proper respect due. I think that's the point. That's the whole point of what I'm trying to get at. All right, Isak's the final player on this list. I gave Isak a 6 today. Wasn't really involved in the way I would like to see our center forwards get involved. I'm giving him a 6. I would have given him a 5.5 considering that he just wasn't there. But I mean, at the same time, I gave him a 6 because he just wasn't really getting the service to even show what he could do for us today. So maybe I'm giving him an extra 1.5 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you want to give Isak? Excuse me.
Nalante?
I'll just say with Alexandra, I think in hindsight, really and truly, we should be giving him the rest of the season off and let him come back next season. But because of situations, and yeah, he's fit, but it's going to take him a while again. It's just been stop-start. So I'd rather, if I had it, I'll just play Glazer, my person, just give Isak the rest of the season off. And then get his pre-season, get proper match fit, be ready to go next season. But he's come back. So
Yeah.
I think they rushed him a little bit. And again, like you said, he wasn't really involved at all, and but he didn't get the service. So it's hard to say, man. It's probably a 5, but it's nice. Yeah, Slot has rushed him back. He really has rushed him back.
Okay. JK?
Look, at the end of the day, I'm sort of happy to see we got Isaac on the pitch. Considering when it first happened, I thought, season's done. World Cup might not even be he'll be able to go if Sweden qualify in the playoffs, and they did. And now he could be sort of looking forward to that as well. So he's thinking, look, I've got 5 games left for Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
Get a bit sharp because he wants to play in the World Cup, bro. You wouldn't, you know. So I think that World Cup is sort of good timing for him. So hopefully, with this happening this sort of week in between games, it's enough time for him to relax as well. So that's the main thing for me. But I'm just happy to see him back, and he's like step by step, just get fit and carry on, lad. And I wish him the best. I'll give him a 5 today. I don't think any ball, as you were saying earlier on in the show, was played to him as a number 9. Like, hey, have that, bro, or there you go, bro, on your head. Nothing. So you got to look at the other players for that. Spot on, Lady B. He isn't supplied like he was at Newcastle. At Newcastle, he was the main guy. Gordon, whoever else, Murphy on the wings, get the ball in, bang, Isaac scored. We don't do that. And I don't understand why we don't do that. This manager don't like doing that type of football.
Yeah.
No Jacob Murphy, that's what we need. Red armchair.
Yeah.
Jacob Murphy.
I mean,
Jacob Murphy in on a free.
Yeah, I don't know about that. All right. I don't know about that call, but all right, yeah. All right. Quickly, let's just go with quick ratings for them. For our subs, Woodman, I gave a 6.5. What'd you give our goalkeeper, Woodman?
Yeah, I'll give him a 7, bro. Kept a clean sheet for his first appearance. Fair play to him. He's probably because his old man just won promotion with, was it Bromley? His dad's a manager of a team that just got promoted, so it's been a good weekend for them, him and his family. So he's playing for Liverpool in the derby, bro. He wasn't thinking that a few weeks ago. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't.
So,
he probably didn't really think that. I mean, he probably didn't think that at all would happen.
Bromley, yeah, Scouse Adam, nice one, yeah.
Bromley, okay. Yeah. Considering we went with 2 goalkeepers on the bench again. This manager, I swear. Anyhow,
Bloody needed it, bro.
We might have at one point. Maybe he would have. He did come up.
You're in goal, bro. He's right back. He's probably played centre forward. You're in goal now.
He would have sent Chiesa into goal. But anyway.
No, you wouldn't even do that. You'd be like, fuck it, we ain't going to have one.
Maybe he would have done that. Did you want to rate Nolante? Did you want to rate Woodman?
Yeah, I'll say probably 77, man. Clean sheet, done all right. He's solid, man. Thanks, man. Big himself up. 7.
And that little header thing he did was good.
Yeah,
that was good.
That sort of got him into the game to settle down. I think that was good for him. Yeah.
That was brave.
Yeah.
Brave.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're coming up wrong. Mama's injured. It's a derby. You think,
Okay. Chat's getting a little wild there. All right. So we'll go for 7 for Woodman. Rio had some flashes. I would have given Rio a 6 though. I'm not gonna go too crazy with what I saw from. I think our coach played it wrong today. We're gonna get into slots rating, but I think our coach played it wrong with Rio. I think that it was. I know it's tough to get in touch with a derby and everything else, but I don't think he should have started. I think personally he should have started Cody at center forward, put Rio on as our left, gotten a good 60 minutes out of Rio on the left side, and then you bring on Isak for that final 30. You move Gakpo to the left wing, okay, and then you finish out the game that way. That at least would have been my suggestions. At least get a solid 30 minutes, out of Isak going up against hopefully a somewhat depleted back line that's been, having to chase Rio all game. And but we didn't do that. And Rio is learning on the job, certainly is. But Arnie chose different. He is our gaffer, so he chose differently, and he chose to start have Rio on the bench, start Cody on the left, and I gave him what did I say, 6? I gave him a 6, I guess, today. What'd you want to give Rio? Go ahead, JK. You're off mute. So
Yeah. Same as, bro. He didn't really get involved, did he? Actually, he was all right. I give him a 6.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Nolante.
Yeah, no, for me, he was a 5. Flashes, just overworked, done too much, but just average, really, to be honest. 5.
He should have scored, actually, bro. He should have scored.
He should have.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Yes, he should have scored on that one. But that's a lot of pressure on the young man. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. I'm not going to give him a pass. I mean, like, if you're old enough to play, then you're old enough to get scrutinized. But, like, that should have been a goal. Really good. That was a great, really, really smart dummy by Kirkes to let it go through and give Rio that extra space to be able to get the shot off, and then you got to at least be on goal. with your shot if you got that kind of shot.
Space.
Yeah, I thought he would have been able to do what he did in the game against Fulham where he scored. I thought he was going to be able to put it into that right side of the net, but no. All right, so 5.5, I guess, was where we'll settle since you gave him a 5, Nolante. All right, last but not least, because I'm not going to rate the other subs. They came on with 5 minutes, 84th minute is when they got on the pitch, so that's not nearly enough time to really give him an honest rating. But I will rate the manager. He obviously got the result. But this was on Virgil, I think. This wasn't because Slot engineers some master plan, in my opinion. I think some questions still remain about, is Arnie really the type of coach that we want to go forward with, in my opinion? Because it's less about the fact that it's not that I don't think he's a good coach or that he can't coach or whatever, any of those aspects. But what I do think is sometimes I think that he overthinks it. And I think he overthought this derby a little bit too much today. I gave Arnie a 5 today.
Interesting.
Bro. Yeah.
Talk with the pepper sauce.
Maybe I'm alone. That's not agenda driven either. That's not agenda driven. I just think that from what I just said, though, I just thought that he got. I was questioning his call about putting Isak in from the very start. I did not think that was the right move to go with, personally. I didn't really mind not seeing Maka not get the start in this game. I think he probably should have been put into the game earlier than he was, but that's okay.
No, I think he got it spot on today. Slot for me. You know me, I'm not a big fan of Slot, and
no,
I was pre-game on Brian's. I was like, we've lost game after game after game, not scoring. Like, we're really bad right now and stuff like that. So all in all, we went to Everton's new ground, and their fans were on it. Oh my days, they didn't stop. It was a bit like Galatasaray, that sort of vibe, and we came through it. And I think Slot got it sort of right. I think all in all, yeah, you can't really fault anything. I can't really say anything like, oh, he did that wrong or whatever, because Kanata is defending. Slot ain't in charge of that. Kanata decided to defend like that. So I'm going to give Slot a 7.5 today.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I just think that, if you're going to put, what's the point of putting Isak in if the instructions aren't to feed Isak? That's
to
my
feed
point.
him. Yeah.
But, so that's on. I know that the players have to take the responsibility of that possibly on themselves. But I mean, at the same time, if you're a coach, you're drilling that in. You're drilling that into their heads. Yeah, that this is what we're doing today. You know, he got a couple of touches in the very beginning of the game, and then all of a sudden faded out. And it's like, I don't want that. As a good coach is making sure that you don't forget about your center forward, in my opinion. Okay, and that is solely on the fact, if you're going to start Isak, okay, show me why you started him, because there was no reason to have started him to get what we got out of. Was Isak on there for defense? No. Was Isak on there because he held the back line honest? No. Was Isak on there for his counter press? No. None of those things are things that we saw out of Isak today. And I think the reason why is because the game plan wasn't there for him to show those aspects. And again, if you're going to start him, at least make good use out of the player being started. Otherwise, put Cody there, because you're going to get defense out of him in the center, in the striker role at least, and put Rio there so we can get some creativity out of the lad on our team. You don't have Lucho there to do that anymore. bring Rio in and start him and get him to get just for this one for 60 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever it is, 55 minutes out of it. Get him to go out there and give us some production. But that wasn't the case. That's why I gave him a 5 or a 5. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
like he could have. For me, he could have started Gakpo top, Salah right, and Rio left, and we might have lost the game, bro. I think with Isaac starting, it was probably to scare them and think, oh fuck, Isaac starting, you know. And I think he did that. He had 2 guys on him all game. He sort of kept them busy, Tchaikovsky and the other lad. So I'm not going to go OTT with it. And also, he's just coming back from a sort of broken leg. I'm just happy to see him. And I think, yeah, I understand what you're trying to say from the manager point of view, where if you're gonna play him, tell the instructions. Listen, lads. Anytime the ball's on the wings, Robertson and say Curtis Jones are right back. Swing the ball in the box, so Isaac can get his head on there or whatever it is. So that's down to the manager. So I understand that, you know what I mean. But sometimes in a game, the players have to take initiative and think, you know what, I'm gonna swing this in back post for Isaac.
There were 5. We were playing at some points of this game. We were playing with five players in the back line. There were parts where you might not have seen it, but there were parts where the announcers were talking about how Dominic Szoboszlai was basically playing as a 5th defender on our back line against Everton. That's weird to me. That's weird. I don't know how we couldn't come up with a game plan that doesn't have Everton stuck in a low block at least. They were coming. It wasn't like Everton wasn't trying to come at us today, and that's where I was like,
trying. Yeah.
I was like, I was disappointed that our game plan wasn't scary enough, in my opinion, at least, to make Everton rethink about trying to go up against us. It just was struggle. And if anything, like, I don't know, at halftime, maybe he did talk to Flo, but I mean, like, you got to tell Flo, hey, you can't sit on the ball like that, man. You got to be 1-2 touch and out. They are swarming on you, and you are giving away the ball way too easy. But anyways, it is what it is. Molante's had to drop out, so I guess our 2 ratings are the ones that stick. You said what, 7.5? You said for him?
Yeah, for Slot. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's high. All right, and I gave him a 5, so 6.25. I don't even know if we gave 0.25.
Does that even exist?
Let's
give him 6.5. Yeah,
6.5 then. All right. Give him the benefit of the doubt because he got the win. All right.
Away at Everton, where Everton were at it, thinking they can do us. Form-wise, they were better than us. Everything. So you got a result there. Fair play. I'm happy you got the first win there.
No,
it means something.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it as like we won this game not because of Slot. That's my point. I don't think we won this game because of his masterclass of putting together an attack that worked for us. It doesn't. Our attack doesn't work. We scored off of a giveaway, Everton giveaway, basically, because they basically gifted it to Cody. He turned around, put in a superb pass. Mohamed Salah scores. And then at the end of the game, we scored off of a corner kick. So it wasn't like his scheme or his tactics today were like, oh, it created so much offense for us, or oh, this or that. At least in my opinion, I didn't see that. And we're not playing, prime Barca or prime Real Madrid today. Okay, we're playing freaking Everton, a team that we should be able to beat and at least have the majority of the. We had like I think 50-some percent, 55% of possession today against Everton. Usually it's a lot more slanted in our possession. In our possession, but we already gave our rating. He got the benefit of the doubt. JK was in his corner today, so he got the 6.5. Okay. All right. I did a little thing, segment I'll call by the numbers, and so let's talk some numbers today because they can sometimes give you a better idea of what went down. Again, 56% Liverpool possession, 44% possession to Everton. We had an XG of 1.45. They had an XG of 0.8. We had 14 shots to their 10. We had 6 on target, 4 for them. We had 6 corners. I always say that you can tell a team that is, I think the team is normally more likely to win is a team that has the more corners in the game. That tends to mean that you had the team with you had more pressure on that team. Tends to be, that in those cases. I don't think Liverpool dominated this game by any means, but we did control enough of the game to get it into an opportunity for us to get a header to win us the game, which it did. Outside the goal, Everton created just 0.58 xg outside the goal. So you can say that we controlled the game somewhat that way. What were your wow, we're at 2 hours. Time flies, man. Let's get to wrapping this show up here. I do have a moment of zen. I do have a red moment of zen. But I'll say it like this. Liverpool didn't win this game because they were better. They won it because we're Liverpool. No, I'm just joking. Because that's rubbing it in the face of Everton is a little bit. Just joking with you. We won this game because we had a player that knows what it takes to stand up and be called on for big moments. Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, both players that stood up today and said, hey, we need to show improve. And that's what you got. Salah gave us the start. Virgil van Dijk gave us the finish. Simple as that. And everything in between, okay, that's still work in progress. But the truth of the matter is that great teams don't need perfection. We need moments. And today, we got those moments. We gave you something that we will certainly be able to feel good about. And that is not only getting a double over Everton. We don't have to hear them talk about this and that. Robbo, too. Big up. Shout out to Robbo as well. Thank you for reminding me, Lady B. But the first derby at Hill Dickinson, now known as Van Dijk Stadium. And with that history, Liverpool Football Club and my captain, Virgil van Dijk, are certainly happy to know that we are in 5th place, but moving forward, keeping pace, keeping our eyes on those teams in front of us so we can maybe push ahead. And I think we might be close to about 1, if not 2 wins away from being able to be safe in the safe zone of getting Champions League next season. What are your final thoughts, JK? What do you want to say as a final thoughts here?
I needed a win today. No matter what happened, with Chelsea losing, Villa winning, United winning. Like for me, I want to get 3rd position. That's what we can take from this season. I know it's not a
thank you. Nice.
But
I'm glad to see I have someone else on board with me.
Yeah, of course, bro. At the end of the day, mathematically, we can't catch Arsenal or City. So for me, Man United in that 3rd position is the spot I want. And then Arnie Slot can get paid well and go have a rest and go on to his next job. And then we bring in Alonso, That's how I would like to finish this season. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to sack Arnie Slot. I don't like sacking managers. It just looks like Chelsea for me and United. That's what they do all the time. So, but for me, as Bernadette said in the chat about this guy isn't really his style of play and everything doesn't suit Liverpool. And
Yeah.
like if you give a speech in a changing room, I've seen the video of the changing room after the game today. It was on the TV. The energy weren't great. It weren't like, yeah, celebrating it and that. And I think the fact the players know they ain't had a great season, so they weren't really celebrating and that. But for me, a
Yeah.
manager can change a team's look in like one team talk. You know,
Mhm.
like, listen, fucking be serious, you know, like, so we don't know what's being said. So we don't know. We not good against teams that are not great. You know, teams that are not great, we find problems against them. Everton not a bad team, bro. We saw handle them. Couldn't handle actually Man City. They're battlers. PSG for me in that second leg weren't great as well, but we didn't really lay a hand on them. So and not starting Salah was just diabolical. I don't understand that one. So that's another topic for another day. But look, we got Palace next week, Saturday, and we'll see what we got to choose from. Hopefully, Salah, Isaac, Virgil will have a good rest, and because even Virgil said in the interview after the game that we haven't beat Palace in a while, so they know that. So hopefully they'll show that. And Palace are playing tomorrow against West Ham, and it's been a good day in the Premier League in that way of relegation thingy. I think Tottenham could be going down, bro. They got a 2-2 result yesterday against Brighton. And if they go down, bro,
Yeah.
be nice, be nice. Forest won today, and I'll tell you the truth. Just give me your opinion on Gibbs White. I think he's a good little player, you know.
He is.
I think he's a good
No, he
little player,
is.
Gibbs White. Yeah, yeah. I would take him to Liverpool. I think for us, would be a good little player. Don't know how I'd play him, but in the squad, bro, he's a little player, that Gibbs White, man. Hat trick today, first time. Yeah, fair play to him. But for me, City beating Arsenal. Come on, bro. Look, City beat Burnley on Wednesday. City are top. My missus couldn't understand how I'm celebrating City beating Arsenal. Like
Yeah.
it was the other way around. We want City to
Yeah.
lose because it was us.
Yeah.
Now we were like, come on, we want City to win. You know, I was like, God help me, I can't have Arsenal winning the league. So City winning today was a real blessing in disguise. And their fans are already they're crying.
Yeah.
They needed a point there. If they got a draw there, they would have been sound. So it's been a good day of Premier League football today.
Agreed. Look, I said how I've got a little bit of a oh my goodness. I've got a little bit of red Zen here for us. Has been a good day. Just as you spoke on, we've seen some teams that we want to see, obviously fall apart. Um, there was a great quote here by Mohamed Salah, and this is something that you'd like to see. By the way, Mohamed Salah said, "I hope I keep scoring, and I help the team qualify for Champions League, so I can leave the right way."
Yeah.
Mohamed Salah loves his team. He loves the city. He loves the fans.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing to hear a player take not only accountability, but really take stock in the fact that he's a part of this, and he has an opportunity to make a difference. There was a update also real quick. I did just see an update on Marmardashvili. I believe it was the reason why. So apparently, he has gone to off to the hospital. It looks to him that he said, and wait, let me make sure the quote's complete here. He says he has gone off to the hospital. It looked to me, and that's also what they told me, that he had a big wound, an open wound. Hope, of course, not going to be a long-term injury. Let's see if he's available for next week. We hope that it's not serious for Marmardashvili. We hope that it is something that is obviously something that can get healed up and mended up real quick. Not just because we'd like to see him in goal, but more so we just we wish him the best of health as always, because for any proper Red. But as I was saying, your moment of Red Zen is easy, very easy to see. I'm going to show you this. This is something I saw, and it made me happy to see. Something that we're going to soon enough, by the end of the season, not see again. And that's why take these opportunities as great as we can. Here we are, Virgil and Mohamed Salah in the locker room, giving a big old grin, knowing the city is red, people. Liverpool is red. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have a weekend review, and we'll also talk about some other things as well. So let's get this done, but the right way, and say up the Reds each and every time. Hope everyone takes care and enjoys the rest of their day. And until then, peace.